So your brush piles, your types of brush piles, and man, there is a million different things out there. Those are some great images of them. Of course, your little plastic fish attractors that everyone's making these days. You know, they're plastic. The good thing about them is your crankbaits don't get hung in them as bad, your worms and stuff. But with all that being said, and I don't hardly dive down there and look to see what kind it is. You can kind of tell those. One thing about your artificial brush piles like that is it seems like it takes more time for fish to get into them. I think maybe it has something to do with getting algae on it or something to attract your bait fish, which bring your bass and crappie and all that stuff in. Again, another homemade one. These are awesome. I'll argue with anybody on what tree limb makes the best brush pile, and in reality, I don't know if it matters. Guys swear by cedars, they swear by willow. Some of them swear that an oak and a hickory is the only brush pile to drop, and in my opinion, I think the best brush pile is probably the one that's in the best location. That seems to be the deal with brush piles. You know, you can do whatever you want to do as far as putting a brush pile out. I mean, it could just be a giant one as big as this room, and they're just, fish won't come to some of them. That's one of the deals as far as if you're dropping them. Usually the best place to put them, of course, very simple, is on a point, but somewhere bass get. Again, places that they don't get, they're not going to come to it just because you put a brush pile there. That's wrong way there. All right, how to line up. That's the number one thing. Of course, you got to find them. Hopefully everybody knows how to find them. If not, you cut your side image on about, I leave mine about 100 foot and I'll around till you see one, you mark it and you go fish it. Lining up is probably the number one thing I see people do wrong as far as fishing brush piles. They just can't seem to get the line up on it. And I don't think I know that the number one thing when running brush piles is how fast and consistent you can hit the pile and go to the next one. That's my game on that. I don't sit there and make 47 casts with it. We'll go into it. I'm getting ahead of myself. But forward-facing sonar, man, it has honestly taken all the guesswork out of it. And as much as I am using that now, I'll tell you my setup, I use Lowrance's. First of all, no matter what brand graph you use, you've got to have a heading sensor. Without that, your map's just going to sit there and spin. You're never going to get lined up on it. But as far as how I do it, on my Lowrance, I zoom mine into 20 foot. I put the range rings on and the little course extension bar. Set the brush pile out 60 foot from me is where I want it. I think a big deal, again, going back to fishing pressure these days, is how far back away from the brush can you get and hit it with the bait consistently. I just think fishing pressure, absolutely, the number one thing is staying as far away from it as you can. But it's simple to line up on that, especially if you have the forward-facing sonar. I've been turning mine on 100 foot and setting the brush pile 60 to 80 foot, and you hit it every time.
And the information Bass University provides isn't your basic run-of-the-mill fishing video. This is specific information from A to Z to help you learn, get to the water, and become a better angler quickly.